Clean water is a scarce natural resource which is imperative to industry, the economy and our basic livelihood. Our natural water resources, including lakes, streams, rivers and groundwater, must be protected and used sustainably. But in WA, a lot of our water is dewatered to enable mining or agriculture. The users of most of our water is not people, but companies who extract gigalitres of water periodically. Due to climate change, some of these aquifers which hold our groundwater are not recharging at the same rate as the past. This means water is getting even more scarce. Unfortunately, the Western Australian government has recently announced it would no longer reform the state's outdated water laws. It's not the first time the Cook government has pulled the pin on progressive, future-focused law reform. We all know too well the Cultural Heritage Act debacle and repeal that spanned pages of the paper last year. The government claims this decision was a practical measure following feedback from water users and stakeholders. With nearly all of Australia experiencing higher than normal temperatures in 2023, water laws are some of the most important pieces of legislation in the state. I wrote that the state's water laws need to be updated to include Indigenous rights. And in 2023 again, I reiterated law reform must reflect the sacred cultural significance. Now we find ourselves in a situation again where the proposed law reform to be inclusive of Indigenous people has been cancelled. It is disheartening. Where does this leave us? Indigenous land use agreements concerning water are one way traditional owners can be involved in the water economy. Currently, there are two publicly available ILUAs which outline clauses concerning water for traditional owners: the Jawal Indigenous Land Use Agreement and the Yamatji Nation Indigenous Land Use Agreement. These ILUAs should be looked to for best practice and be built upon by traditional owners for future agreements. The importance of water should not be underestimated. I've spent the last few days driving from the Kimberley and through the Pilbara to get back home to the Midwest. The rich red dirt, the flora and fauna and heat reaching the mid-40s makes you realise the importance of sustainable water use in the regions. With the government repealing the law reform, it is now more important than ever for water users such as the mining industry to step up and include Indigenous people to sustainably use water. Recently, I co-published research with Dr. Sarah Holcomb out of the University of Queensland Sustainable Minerals Institute. This paper outlines what needs to happen now, what traditional owners can do and should be enabled to do, and what companies can do and what the government should do. These include mining companies allowing traditional owners to undertake water monitoring as a standard practice and ensure transparent audits are undertaken. It's in the best interest of everyone we work together to ensure water use is sustainable and inclusive. This can happen now without law reform. Thanks for watching Paint It Black with me, Emma Garlett. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.